This episode is sponsored by Swanson Health. Swanson Health has been producing quality vitamins and supplements, food, healthy home and self-care products for over 50 years. That's older than me, if you can believe it. Swanson Health is the only company to offer the full spectrum of wellness products for mind, body, and home. From quality products and supplements to cruelty-free beauty items to eco-friendly home products, Swanson Health is here to keep you healthy. Swanson Health only supports products they're proud to use and give to their own families, backing everything by strict quality standards with the Swanson Quality Code. Swanson brand vitamins and supplements are crafted in the USA and made with unsurpassed purity and potency. Swanson Health carries over 20,000 wellness products at a great value. If you want to try any of Swanson Health's great products for yourself, use the code GHOST20 for 20% off at swanson.com. That's the code GHOST20 for 20% off at swanson.com.
A closed-captioned mystery. I'm Rebecca Lieb.
I'm Jason Horton.
And this is Ghost Town.
On July 8th, 2014, Lars Mittank was last seen on CCTV at Varga Airport in Varna, Bulgaria, sprinting out of the airport, leaving his belongings behind and disappearing into the woods, never to be seen from or heard from again.
That's quite an exit.
The CCTV footage is what makes this so interesting and captivating. A lot like Elisa Lam.
Heard of her?
Yeah, we
have.
We're only a few short miles from where she died.
Yeah, she died. I was going to say disappeared, but she died.
You know, we don't know what happened to Lars Mittank. Some people have some theories, and we'll get into that. Mm-hmm. We're going to watch the CCTV. I want to see what your take is.
So just to recap, Elisa Lam's death, she was a tourist here. She was in Hollywood. She was staying at a place called the Cecil Hotel, or the Hotel Cecil. There's a variety of pronunciations that no one can quite agree upon. People were complaining that were staying in the hotel, which when I say hotel, I mean kind of a long-term, low-income place that people...
We've mentioned it on Ghost Town in previous episodes.
People were complaining about the water, and then they found her body in the water tank, and it was essentially within the water that people were consuming, which is horrifying. And then a security tape surfaced of her acting fairly erratically in an elevator. So there's a lot of theories around her death. It remains unsolved.
In the same way, this footage gives me those vibes.
Oh boy.
But what happened to Lars Mittank is still, I guess, debatable and unsolved and a mystery. So he was 28. He's from northern Germany, and he went with some friends to go to a resort. I feel like a lot of true crime things that happen in Europe always are, it's like, Belize or some kind of
foreign,
resort.
But that kind of makes sense though, because when you think about people leaving the place that they feel comfortable, you think perhaps, especially like a 28-year-old on vacation, you think about, inebriation, you think about things that are in their system, you think about how they react in these unforeseen circumstances.
Sometimes you're cutting loose.
Yeah.
Or people, could prey on tourists.
Totally. Cultural divide. It's so hard to say, but there are so many variables that make it being dangerous. I mean, tourism is dangerous.
Yeah. It's like we went to Florida.
Yeah.
I love Florida. It's great. My mother lives there.
But that's like your home,
Yeah. It's like my ninth home. He got separated from his friends, and he got into, now, what I'm finding is allegedly a altercation with some other dudes about their favorite football team or soccer, I guess.
Okay.
And
classic.
They got into a fight. Now, his friends can't corroborate this because they were not there. They got separated. So that is a debatable part of this, or at least what I'm finding, depending on your point of view. And he had a ruptured eardrum. So then he went to a doctor, and he's like, you shouldn't really fly because there's something wrong with your eardrum. It's ruptured. Your equilibrium is thrown off. I know I've had blockages in my ear, and it really kind of messes up your equilibrium, whatever that is. I know I said it twice, but whatever that is.
Yeah, No, I mean, your ears are very delicate vessels. They can really fuck you.
Yeah.
If you fuck them.
So Lars Mittank decided to stay in Bulgaria. His friends were like, we'll stay with you. We're boys. we'll hang. And he's like, no, go on without me. Maybe he either, we don't really know if he sent them away for the reason of, I don't want to hold up your fun time because I got into something. Or his paranoia had already set in. His neurosis had already set in. We don't really know because there's only really this footage and what his friends and family kind of say about his state of mind. Some theories on that as well. Again, my theories are unsubstantiated by anything. It's just my...
You don't need anything for a theory.
No, I don't.
Just a mind and a mouth.
I just need to wear glasses.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You'd be like, oh, I believe that guy. So he stayed in a kind of like low-rent motel, like a seedy motel, the Hotel Color, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Color.
He's near the airport. He stayed there.
The Color Hotel.
Yeah, we are multilinguists.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And he was really paranoid there. He called his mother and he said, cancel all the credit cards. I think he did it in a whisper. Like almost like he was being like listened to, like over. And I've got this from different sources.
Bugged. Okay, this is not part of your theory. This is stuff that you researched.
Well, some say it is, some say it isn't. And then he was just like, there are 4 men after me and I'm trying to get away from them. I'm being chased by them. And perhaps it was the men that he allegedly got into the altercation with that led to
his friends.
Could be that, but they already left.
Why did he want them? Okay, I've got some questions.
He just sent them along, and the friends, again, could they have something to do with it? That's not what I'm finding, but very well could be. But he said that there was people looking for him, the 4 men, and it could be the men from the altercation over their favorite football team, or it could be other 4 men, it could be their friends, or it could be nobody, is what we're finding.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I think what we need to do to get you in the right headspace.
I need to be in that headspace.
I got to get you there.
I got theories of my own brewing in here.
I got to get you in that headspace. And how I'm going to do that is we are going to watch the video together, and then you're going to tell me what you think right after this little break. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi. It's a concerned, kind of quivery hello.
We hope you're doing well, keeping it together.
Yes.
We are trying to do that.
Yes, staying healthy / fighting for social justice.
You want to do a mayor roll call?
I would.
These are fun.
I love to. Mayors, come to the center of Ghost Town.
We want to thank you for being mayors, and we want to thank all of our patrons for all the support.
Absolutely.
Patreon.com/ghosttownpod.
That's correct.
Let's go down. We got Brandon Gaddis.
We got Chris Witt. Again, new dad. His kid is also, I consider, a mayor.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Serafina. That's her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that gets passed down. So she would be.
Yeah, she's
royal blood.
He leaves us to her in his will. So sorry.
And then we have Silent Sam.
Still
silent.
Ooh, so sexy.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah. And then Jeanette Link. Still cool as ice.
Very cool.
And a new mayor.
We got a new one.
We have a new one.
I'm so excited.
Lauren Pasek.
Lauren. She ain't basic because she's Lauren Pasek.
Yes. I'm sure that's exactly how she'd like to be addressed.
She's not. I'm excited. Did she send us her address for a pin?
I believe she has, yes.
Okay.
Pins are coming.
Pins are coming.
She wants to encourage people, if you're going to adopt a pet, consider adopting a senior pet.
I love that. Lauren, I love that.
We have senior pets.
My cat is 400 years old.
My cat just got Botox.
Your cat looks amazing. Your cat looks 12.
Yeah, it's great.
Damn.
She focuses on Fospice dogs. It's parentheses FOSPICE.
Oh.
And she loves the show. Podcasts are making life a lot more tolerable right now. She's in Texas. Thanks be to dog. I'm in Austin, although I'll think of Nito stories from Texas. Definitely full of them. I'm actually from Orange County,
Oh.
but still fascinated with weird-ass Texas stuff.
Texas is weird. I've actually never been. I would love to go. I would love ideally for us to do a show there because I feel like we have a lot of love from Texas.
We do. There's some people listening from Texas. We like to get love, give love, show love. And I have one interesting comment.
Okay.
This is on our Apple podcast.
Okay.
Please rate and review. It really helps.
It really
Anyone
does.
who's done it so far, thank you. Mm-hmm. And it says, bashing Canada?
What?
And we've only really
Is this
done...
about me?
the episode... The Greyhound Bus 1170 episode. I mean,
we did. No, we did I don't forget.
We've done some. We've done it.
Canada's also very spooky and haunted. There's a lot there.
Yeah, I think because my wife is a Canadian
Jason's
citizen.
wife is Canadian.
She's a Canadian citizen, so I think I can become one since we're married. Something we talked about.
That's going to amend this. Will he give us more stars if you become a Canadian citizen? Is there a follow up section?
There is. Well, it's her office.
Her.
Okay. Well, it's her office is the name of the account.
Okay.
I just saw a few comments about your podcast, Canada Bashing, which led to 1-star reviews and unfollowing this podcast.
Whoa.
I didn't even know that much. I've listened to a few episodes trying to decide if I would continue or not. I hope this isn't true. I haven't stumbled upon that episode yet. Now maybe I won't. 3 stars.
Is she thinking of the right podcast?
I don't know.
Do we bash? I don't think we do. I think we kind of... I think I've not, because I've actually worked on a Canadian sitcom, one of my first jobs. I know a lot of Canadian. I feel like we've actually built Canada up.
Places and locations, I feel like we have also celebrated, because that's like our favorite part is the place. So really don't do any bashing of places themselves.
No, I think we go out of our way to kind of.
Yeah, so just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But please rate and review. And if you... like YouTube, we do these on video as well. Some of them, just look up Ghost Town Podcast on YouTube, subscribe, watch some episodes. We have a TikTok, which is Ghost Town Pod, little tiny mini episodes.
Those are fun.
Just more stuff, you know.
More. Consume it all if you want to.
And if you don't, do it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Just tell people that we Canada bash.
Yeah.
And leave us bad reviews. Don't do that. I want to talk about, though, we got a Facebook message from Jake Eilerman. He said, just wanted to say I found your podcast on Spotify too. We are available there.
Yeah.
And have been binge listening the last few days, and I'm all the way back in December of 2019, and kind of nice to hear stuff before all of this stuff happened. Good times. Which is great. We're going to take you through good times. We're going to take you through bad times. And I was chatting with him as he was listening to the podcast, so he really got the 360 Rebecca Lieb experience, which you can get too if you want to send us a message.
So we got an email from Tanya. Hey, Tanya. How are you?
Hello.
She says, hey, John. I'm not John. I'm Jason.
Not John, but we'll take it. You know what? Call us whatever you want.
But she wanted to give a shout out and say thank you. I'm a Christian, and I'm interested in approaching this with an open mind about the spiritual world and how it connects with our lives here on earth. I truly enjoy your podcast. I just listened to your episode about John Chow.
Yes.
He was the missionary that unfortunately...
Pentecostal missionary went to...
You listened to the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
And just wanted to give you a virtual hug. So she sent a really nice email about how we approached the religious aspect of it and didn't use it as an opportunity to say, I told you so, religion's bad or Christianity's bad.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's really the point, although it's going to be an aspect of it, but I didn't think it was important to use that as a
focal
reason,
point.
as a focal point. It's a tragic thing, and everyone has their opinion on religion or lack of religion or too much religion or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I just don't really want to insult people that are listening that aren't, not everyone that's listening is like, well, I'm religious or I have these beliefs. I'm not.
We're not here to call out your religion or your values. But I think that is and we will if it feels like it's pertinent. It
has to be very directly pertinent.
Yeah. But I think the fun of our podcast is that we examine these things from different angles, from, more esoteric or, curiosity's sake, exploring things that you don't already know about these subjects or aren't like, the low-hanging fruit of it.
We don't have an agenda. I mean, we seldomly discuss politics.
Yeah.
I think it's just that's not our
and we're
agenda.
Politically active and we care about that stuff, but I think the podcast, as we've heard, is kind of an escape from that.
You could probably guess our politics if you really wanted to. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise to you, but you can probably find that elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't think we have a lot to add to maybe what you're already taking in informationally in that respect.
But there's these other really great things that we're really interested in that you might not be aware of or you might be reminded of. And I think that's really why we do this. Now we are going to watch the video of Lars Mittank on CCTV.
Looks like a typical German 20-something.
So there he is. He has all his travel stuff.
What
He's
you
got
expect.
everything.
Duffel,
He's
backpack.
walking pretty slow, typical near an airport. He has to go to the doctor, which is near the airport. And so he will now disappear out of frame, running out. None of his stuff.
Yeah.
None of his stuff. He is sprinting.
Yeah, he's booking it out of there.
So now he's outside the airport. Now see how he grabs his pocket?
Yeah.
And he's kind of putting his hand in his pocket. I thought that was... Now he disappears. He goes over some barbed wire and disappears into the woods. And that's the last you see or hear from Lars Mittank. Yeah, there he goes. He's
going past a parking lot.
And there he goes. He's going. And so that's the footage.
Very strange. Very strange. Coming in with his stuff.
We got some Elisa Lam vibes, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, especially with the comparison of him, again, walking in and then it's like a different person.
It's
leaving.
Panic. And then the fact that you leave all your stuff behind, why would you do that? Maybe he thought, he's like, well, I need to throw them off my scent for some reason. I don't know why leaving your identification, I'm assuming passport.
Yeah.
Everything was in there.
Yeah.
But what was in his pocket? That's something I noticed, and I didn't find anything online. I think I found one other person, like on Imager. Is that what it is? There was some information on there about somebody's like, hey, do you think he had a cell phone in his pocket? And that's the kind of thing where you grab your pocket where you're like, it's like almost like a reflex. Like, do I have my stuff? Is it going to fall out? But it seems like maybe he had a burner phone.
Yeah, or maybe he was making sure stuff wasn't in his pocket.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it seemed like he had that thing where you pat your pocket.
Yeah, that's true.
And then put his hand in his pocket as if he did, because he was. His running, his legs were up, and he didn't want it to fall out. What was in his pocket? Very
interesting. Very haunting. Hard to watch. And also there's something so eerie, which we've seen time and time again, of the last evidence of someone, the last footage of someone.
And that's what appeals to me is people missing, vanished, and no one really truly knows why. A lot of this is from meow.com, meaww.com. It's great stuff. One of Lars Mittank's friends in the group, and there's been multiple sources that agree with this, that he was not eating a lot. He wasn't hungry. And that could be so many things. It could be because of his eardrum, or I think something was happening before. It's a new country. Maybe he didn't like the food. Maybe he was just feeling sick from travel. It's hard to say. I travel. We travel a lot. I never have that problem.
No, I'll eat everything.
Yeah,
if there's some food left, that's when you worry about me.
Yeah. I have a series of videos where I try McDonald's in different countries.
Love it.
It's on my other YouTube channel called Jason Horton, if you really want to see me eat McDonald's in different countries.
Which you do.
People were wondering why. It could be innocuous. It could be something else.
Yeah, appetite loss, the ear thing, something's not right with him in a physical sense from his mental state maybe, but it clearly turned on him at that moment.
He was, according to his friends, relaxed, in a good mood, and you see him walking around the airport, and he looks like a typical
tourist going to his flight.
Yeah, and a typical speed you might walk in an airport.
He doesn't look paranoid on his way in. Nothing like that.
So when Lars called his mother from that hotel room, Hotel Color Hotel, her son said people were trying to kill him, cancel his bank cards. And she told, and Mittank's mother, who's Sandra Mittank, she told German TV, I thought, God, my son is in danger. I could hear his heart pounding over the phone. He said people were trying to rob him or kill him. He also sent another text to his mother asking her about the antibiotics he had been prescribed by the... Yeah. What effect might they have?
Ooh, so maybe he stopped taking... Maybe an infection kind of went through his... like maybe he stopped taking them out of paranoia. It was kind of like the snowball effect.
Yeah.
That is very disturbing.
In some of the footage, you see him pacing up and down the hotel foyer, the airport, and the doctor. It's all like in the same area. So you're pretty much in the same complex, is from what I'm gathering from this information. So the next day, he texted his mother saying that he had made it safely to the airport terminal. However, when an airport doctor was examining him before flying, he reportedly appeared nervous and erratic and was also mistrustful of the drugs he had been prescribed by the physician, which were just antibiotics. And the airport doctor, Dr. Costa Kostov.
Costa.
Gotta be. I mean, that's gotta be the name.
That's good.
Later said that Mittank began to tremble when he saw a construction worker entering the room and cried, I don't want to die.
Whoa.
Some people say it might have resembled a security officer, and he made that connection. There's talk about him running into the forest, and some people say, well, he couldn't handle the elements and the heat, but then there's other people that say the forest is very small there.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not Bulgarian. I'm not familiar with Bulgaria, and I think some of the information is coming are not from people that are from there or really have a lay of the land.
Yeah. I would like to know too his history overall of, mental illness, paranoia.
That's another thing.
That maybe gets to be more so when he travels or something like that, where it's again like the snowball effect of all of these things culminating in this disappearance or what.
So there's some, people when they're speculating, what happened to him, and it seems like the woods wouldn't be too much of he would be seen eventually. It's not like he'd be there forever and eaten by a wolf.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these cases, and I feel like a lot of discussion, people ask, how is the person's mental health? A lot of the time, it always starts off with fine. Everything's fine. They were totally normal. Nothing to report. And that could be partially, you hide things from your family. You hide things from people. You're good at that. You have secrets. And I get that. But I wonder, and this is my speculation, would his mother not want to mention his mental well-being for any reason that she might think it would make him look bad or her look bad? Is there a stigma behind it? Is that why it's not mentioned? I feel like it can't be. The theory is that it's nothing. He's totally fine. And then he gets into this fight or whatever, eardrum, antibiotics, and then, literally leaves everything he owns and just runs off and is never seen again.
Yeah.
I find that possible, but not plausible.
Yeah, it's certainly a more sensationalist experience of this disappearance, is to be like some switch turned in his brain, but that's probably not what happened.
Or would perhaps his mother or family not want to reveal that it might change the direction of the investigation. So they might want to not jeopardize the investigation, because if they're just like, oh, well, we're looking for somebody who's not mentally well, would that make it a less of a priority? But if they're like, listen, he was totally fine and then something happened, go that route. Yeah. That's some of the thoughts I had.
Yeah, that makes sense.
People sometimes don't want to admit that there is something wrong, or maybe they don't know. Who am I to say? A couple of points. There's no evidence he ever got into a fight beyond him claiming that he did. There's sources that his friends doubted that actually happened because none of them saw it. There was an argument between Lars's friends and another group, but that's not who Lars said claimed to attack him.
Mm-hmm.
He claims that there was a third group that were hired by the other group to do it.
Some kind of Bulgarian bully ringleaders?
Yes. There's, statements from the doctors that might be lost in translation. He's German, so miscommunications might be possible.
Yeah.
The drug is EFUROXIME. That it could cause psychosis or trigger schizophrenia.
Oh.
So that's another possibility.
Mm-hmm. But then he stopped taking it, right?
Yes. His suitcase was found by the police. No drugs. That was a big thing. Was there any drugs? Doesn't mean he wasn't taking any drugs.
Yeah, who's to say?
But there were none in there. Joseph Thompson on Reddit says he left his passport, money, and phone behind. The resort was all-inclusive. All the food was free. Drinks were free. So I think he ended up in a McDonald's. And people were like, well, unless you didn't like the food, there was no... They weren't to want for anything. Because it was an all-inclusive, trip. And, stimulant use, cocaine, amphetamines. Could be that. Mm-hmm. Don't know. There's one claim that somebody in 2017 that they saw him. They claim it was him, that they met him in Canada. But there's no proof. No pictures, no nothing. It's just somebody on Reddit says that, some people are running with it, some people aren't.
Looking at his photo in the first part of the video, he looks like a lot of people. He's a white guy, kind of like conventionally attractive, nondescript white man. So there's not any feature, there's nothing. He could look like it. And also years later, it's who knows what he looks like.
So this would be, 9 years later.
Yeah.
And a lot of people could look like him, or somebody that could just want it to be him, or just some suspicious person, or maybe it was him. I don't know. The theories are out there. I just don't know what it is or what it isn't.
Yeah. And I mean, the percentage of people who go missing and are found years later, or who disappear on their own volition and found years later, is very, very low.
I don't know how, even if he was like, I'm going to start a whole new life, how would you do that without any of your stuff?
Yeah.
How would you travel? How would you literally do anything?
And also just to exist in the world with something that, again, I'm sure this is very high profile in terms of people discussing it, trying to figure out what happened. You would eventually get, like you said, there's one sighting, but I think you'd eventually get seen by someone. Yeah.
That's our trip to Bulgaria.
I know, I'd love to go. So if I ever go to Bulgaria and don't want to eat anything, something's up. Call my mom.